Meditation, we're using the open energy. So we all know that mental and physical energies can be dynamic. Mind is often moving forward, moving on, adding, organizing, or spinning, making things work. And this is with good intentions or driven state. And this does need to be, we need to refresh that by returning just the open quality, which is the other thing the mind can do. It can falter, it can lock, it can get really seized up, it can push forward, but also it can open. Open is more about enhancing presence, receptivity. Yeah. And when, in theory, when we think of receptivity, we imagine, well, that would make even more things come in. But if this receptivity is held with mindfulness, then it actually stays open, but not intruded upon. This is a pretty wonderful feature. Serenity comes from that. Serenity and strength comes from that. So we're mindful. So they have this quality called proper attention or deep attention, which is scanning around for that quality of openness. Where is that? How is that? And a great guide to this is the body. The body can be doing all kinds of things and impacted upon by touch, things impacting it, but also if we come into the sense of being embodied, sense of being, just being here, being embodied, then then it's the receptivity. So we might say sitting, feeling the sense of sitting, base of the body on up. So we're coming away from the skin boundaries, which are being impacted, or even in any localized effects, as if we're standing in balance. We're putting attention to being balanced. Balance is not a physical sensation. Balance is the body's intelligence being open and stable. Stable because it's balancing. It's open because it has the sense, is anything taking me out of balance? Yeah, am I leaning over? Something pushing me? So it's both open and stable. And as you get clearer and more fully attuned to, oh, that is balanced, that is stable, then what occurs is that you can establish sati or mindfulness of that, which means you bring your attention to that and you linger in that, sensing it, feeling it. Mindfulness has distinct qualities to it, distinct features. One is it keeps you on topic. The topic now is the sense of balance. Another aspect of mindfulness is it discards or is not interested in other qualities. So just really focusing on, it's a concentration. Not concentration on a point, but concentration on a state, an embodied state of open, balanced. So sights, sounds, touches, these are not, you just got to keep relinquishing interest in them. Yeah. Third aspect of sati is it lingers and absorbs what we are mindful of. So it leads on. This is why it's a foundation for samadhi. It lingers in and drinks in the quality that it's attuned to. The state quality is balanced, stable, open. And there's something pleasant about that because it's unencumbered. It's not driven by the will. You're not dealing with data. Mm. Now, if the body, if we can do this as we're doing this in the body, naturally the mind, chitta, awareness is participating in that. It begins to pick up that sense of stable, open, present. The two go together. But of course, the snag is that the heart is interested in lots of other things. You know, being stable and balanced is okay for a few seconds, but then so what? You know, so it drifts more interest in other things, things that we are annoyed by, concerned about, things we have to do, things we wish we hadn't done, regrets. It's interested in most everything else, apart from being present. So this takes some doing, or some perseverance. One of the ways that that is built up is by acknowledging how changeable all the things we're interested in are. They well up, they wash through, they move on, they spin, they move. And how fulfilling is that? Why the sign of impermanence has always been a mark of meditation. You know? So this will change. It's not so agreeable, but if I tangle with it, wrangle with it, it's going to get more intense and get more involved with it. Because naturally, mind is interested in lots of other things apart from just being open and balanced. Notice the other things are changeable, variable, fluctuating, and also the pull being drawn out. You're losing autonomy, becoming involved. And you're losing power, because if the mind is dissipated, then it loses some of that fruitful power, vigor, decisiveness that gives us inner strength, dignity, respect. Now you can support this with the other senses, so keeping the eyes open, stable. Focus around the eyes, how the eyes are very movable organs, like the ears. You know. And this then is helpful because you can really sense it when the eyes are just lightly stabilized. For this, focusing the sockets of the eyes, resting the gaze upon something distant, letting the focus be soft and relaxing around the eye sockets, forehead, and the temples. This is called the mask of the face. Forehead, temples, eyeballs. Well, this is the mask. Now we just undo the mask. Again, you get that sign of stability with the various difficulties, because open can make us feel vulnerable. Should be doing disoriented, should be doing something. And therefore, always returning to physical body, and you can use breathing as something that your mind can have an activity to be steadied by. This is a really helpful activity because it's one of the few activities that are there constantly that you don't have to do. It's an involuntary activity. So it's got that, gives the attention some access to something, that gives it some movement. Because we're trying to shift a habit, which has been always about moving on. So using something that's got a very moderate movement to it and repeated movement, rhythmic, calming, open to the rhythm of that, where however that manifests for you, whether it's in your waist or your chest or your head or your nose, anywhere, but don't make it point specific or location specific. Make it overall. It's the sign of rising, subsiding, pausing. However, you can pick that up. Doesn't matter where it is. This has a smoothing, soothing effect. But the emphasis is not focusing on a particular point which is the other way we seem try to generate stability, holding on to a thing. But the problem is that things change. So if you hold on to things, you're committing to instability. But if you're open to things changing, that quality doesn't change, right? It's as if you were just like a hand allowing things to flow across the palm. The openness doesn't change. Phenomena change, the openness stays stable. We've got to keep reminding us not to close and hold, get fascinated, twiddle, tweak. Yeah. Or if you do, just enough to undo the grip, not to add more to it. So if you're getting gripping, what is it that helps you to undo that? Getting interested in that which holds rather than the object. So if we're getting holding on to some thoughts, emotions, speculations, what is it that is holding that? So you're always returning to the subject, chitta, rather than the object, the phenomena that arise within it. Open energy, it's receptive, and it's entered through the feeling base, not through the thinking base. So if you're thinking about this, that, or the other, ask yourself, how does it feel? How is that experience? Is it movable, shifting, changing, agreeable, disagreeable? And just return to that which feels. Feeling is very uncomfortable. Then turn your attention to where the feeling, which you feel, is non-obstructive, such as the ending of an out breath. Rhythmic flow. So you're supporting this open, receptive stability, giving it mind, the heart, a chance to experience some of the benefit of that